All right, you beautiful bastions of freedom, get in here. You see the jacket, you know what time it is. You never want me to go to the jacket. But when I do, it's almost guaranteed to be a great show. I'm like, jacket for jacket on this. You guys are going to love every second of it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We are going to walk through one of the most masterful political speeches I've ever seen. And it's all about one word, and I'm going to hit on this over and over and over again. Contrast. The Democrats look like petulant children who live on a crazy farm who are all about disruption. That's what they look like. The whole Democrats are the way, blue wave, they are all about everything's going to work. No, I'm telling you, you just witnessed a pivot point, and a lot of people aren't really talking about it. I'm going to show you everything right now. I've got clips on clips on clips, tabs on tabs on tabs. Again, if you're going to enjoy the content, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. They aren't going to do it themselves. And of course, the comments, the chats, the emojis make the entire world go round because that notification bell is a lazy bastard and he needs some help sometimes. So as we get into this, guys, I'm telling you, you just witnessed something really and truly incredible, and I'm going to walk through the entire thing. So let me get right over here. Remember your deputization requirements, because I guarantee you our loyal lefties are not going to like this video. It started off bad when I was wearing the jacket, and from there it's only going to go downhill because the backhands are about to be unleashed from on high. All right, here we go. Comments. I can't type anymore. Comments, chats, emojis make the world go round. All right, people, listen. You know the rules. Once we pin this, we are off to the races. And if people aren't here in time, you know what? Early viewer gets the worm. All right, it is pinned. We are ready to rock. So, guys, we're going to dive right in. Don't forget to defend the sanctity of the chat when the lefties, the loyal lefties, get a little rambunctious, because this, they're not going to like. Okay, here we go. Y'all, something just happened. But before we get into that something, always know the appetizers are here to make it all palatable, because we've got to start the momentum, and here we go. So this is one of the new leftist icons. This is the guy who is all about the new testosterone for the left. Now, granted, he's not any of those things, but you know, at least he tries, because, you know, the left can't figure out how to talk to men. And I quote, "F the State of the Union. I'm not listening to a fake American who tears down everything America stands for and barely speaks English. This is made for the lowest IQ scum of society." Spoken like the moral betters that they are. Anyone up for a browbeating for a leftist? Everyone loves a good eye roll from a woke scold, right? Yeah, remember what he said about Donald Trump, right? But, oh my God, guys, this isn't AI. This isn't a creation of my imagination. I didn't invent this. I didn't write any scripts. They actually turned the camera on themselves. This is a Democratic rep. This is actually real. Did this before the actual State of the Union address. Watch this.
Just in a few hours, Donald Trump is going to go to the US Congress and talk about State of the Union. He will tell a whole bunch of lies because he has failed to take care of the prices. Prices have continuously go up, making it harder for average American. Life is tough. Rents are going up. Grocery prices are going up. Trump will tell you all is well. Don't believe him. Just in a few hours.
Y'all, oh my God. Let's just break this down a little bit. Okay, hold on a second. See right here? See this little virtue signal pin? Stand with the survivors, release the files. Well, don't tell the progressive lefties who brought the Epstein enablers and traffickers as big virtue signal posts, Ro Khanna. Don't talk about that. Anyway, let's zoom right out of that. Y'all, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. This is how they laid the groundwork. This is how they laid everything out to grease the skids, as they say, to undermine the State of the Union. Great work, Dems. Great work. And then, what would an appetizer session be? And let me hear you in the comments and chats on this one, because those emojis make the world go around. Without a guy storming the stage of one of the 5, count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different anti-SOAP State of the Union, People's State of the Union, anti-Trump State of the Union, Portland frogs, men dressed as giraffes, Joy Reid singing. Swear to God, stay in here. It's all coming. Okay. What would it be if I didn't show you someone raid the stage while Chris Murphy was talking and call him a scumbag? Because, I mean, come on. Okay, watch this.
This is the moment. This is the reason that she came here to the United States, to speak truth to power, to explain the trials and tribulations that every immigrant, that every refugee goes through to get here, and to press this country to...
Border! I stuck in the border. Go Trump! Go Trump! Hey, Murphy, you're a scumbag.
Thanks, man. Thanks, buddy.
I snuck in the border. Hey, Murphy, you're a scumbag. You know what? That guy deserves a high five. At least, I mean, I don't love the tactics, but I would love the opportunity to say Chris Murphy's a scumbag. I mean, like, just not my favorite. But that was just a little cherry on top. I think I saw a super chat I want to get to, so I don't forget it, because I'm very forgetful sometimes. Leonard Allen with a $5 super chat. I do not have patience for Democrats or stupid. They ran out. Yeah, well, this episode's going to be a thing. All right, y'all, here we go. This is the point. We've concluded the appetizer. We are about to dive into one of the most masterful things that you could ever... You're probably going to see in your lifetime. I doubt you're ever going to see it again. Honestly. Masterful barely touches this. All right? But before I show you that, let me show you something that is actively happening. Remember that little Save Act thing? You know, the doom and gloom panicans, the ones who, the Chicken Littles, the conservative commentators who are like freaking out that everything's going to go, you know, way to the wayside and everything's underwater and we're all going to die and everything's terrible and, you know, the life is over on this planet. Yeah, about that Save Act, John Thune just committed on live TV that he's going to bring it up for a vote, which is what was required, by the way. Just saying. Turns out that being a Chicken Little doesn't always help. Watch this.
And if so, when?
Well, we will. We'll put the Democrats on the record. And it's a stark contrast, Aisha. The Democrats, even in the chamber last night, having to sit there and try and defend allowing non-citizens to vote in American elections. That is a losing proposition for them. So we will get a vote on it. And we are right now in the middle of a government shutdown, so we've got to try and get the government opened up first. But in due time, we will get that up on the floor. We will have a vote on it. We will make sure that the Democrats are on the record. It is a stark contrast between Republicans and Democrats about how they want to handle elections in this country. And this is going to put them, I think, in a very difficult position. It's an issue, if I were running as a Democrat in the midterm elections in November, I wouldn't want to have to defend.
All right, this is the part where I start telling you stuff and connecting dots and showing you the red lines and the strings that a lot of people aren't going to do yet. Because I have a mind for patterns and I really like things, and anytime I catch something that's similar, I go, wait a minute, and I can start to connect them. That's my thing. I like doing it. He just said the magic word, contrast. He just tied it together with the State of the Union last night where Democrats were providing a contrast. You're going to start seeing a whole lot of contrast. This is the whole point. What you are actively watching, and this is the masterful part. This is going in a direction. You are actively watching the White House, Donald Trump, through his State of the Union address last night, start to pin the Democrats as crazy, as outsiders, as the absurd, as the obscene, as the obstructionist. The contrast between the order and the peace and the America First and the nation, or the party of contrast. That's the whole point. You just heard John Thune say, we're going to provide a contrast. You are going to see ad campaigns to the tune of $695 million versus the Democrats' $100 million, all about the Democrats. Well, I'm going to show you in a second, but what they're doing in the in the State of the Union, what they're doing outside the State of the Union, what they're doing with the SAVE Act. All of these things are going to be election day fodder when they start hitting ad campaigns. This is 100% orchestrated, and the word is contrast. I'm telling you, this is not an asleep at the wheel thing. You are watching the beginning of this happen, and you can mark it down and bookmark it and call me out on it if it doesn't happen, but it is. All right, everything's linked in the description box below per usual. Again, contrast. This is contrast. When you have this type of thing airing consistently from the Democrat voter base, and you have this level of conflict, it's impossible to defend. Say it again, impossible. Watch this.
We all agree on that point. I just think that the reality is that an act like the SAVE Act is very likely more aimed at voter suppression and at keeping key demographics that the Republican Party does not want voting to not show out and vote. I think very often minority demographics.
That's not true.
So this is the thing where
That's
the
not true.
suggestion is it's going to keep the black vote down. I've got 2 black panelists here. Ajwa,
That's not
do
true.
you have ID and proof of citizenship?
Yeah, and if I need a copy of my birth certificate, it's just a matter of going online or going up to the department and asking for it and showing my information to get it. I mean, to say that it would negatively affect a minority group because they're somehow not educated enough to get these documents is completely outrageous.
Annie?
In my opinion,
Yeah, it's not only completely outrageous, it's also completely true that they do that to them. I mean, like, you cannot defend this position. The genius of what's happening right now is you are putting the opponents in a very uncomfortable position. You literally saw not a single Democrat stand when they were asked, hey, why don't you stand? You know what? I'm going to show you in a second. Hold on a second. I'm getting so excited for that part because it's going to get real fun. You are actively watching them being pigeonholed in a corner. And I'm freaking here for it. All right, guys, listen, we have 1,700 people in here right now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, send this out to everyone that you love, that you think needs it. We're going to save the country together, cutting through the propaganda. And if I have to say one thing that's really important, before I show you the pivot point that is so clear it's screaming, we do 2 things on this channel. And this isn't, please let me hear you in the comments if you see it, if you see what I'm doing, okay? The first thing is I show you all the updates that are changing in the ever-evolving tapestry of political fight for our country that's happening, okay? I show you the updated things, and I tie them to the bigger theme. The other thing that we do, and this is why it's an active movement, that's what we're doing on this channel, is we're actively moving towards a goal. That's the micro. When you zoom out in the macro, I show you all the underlying trends that are all tying together. So all the individual little daily things that are happening, we tie it to a bigger, broader space. That's why everything that we talk about is typically oriented close to where it goes. It's because it's a micro and macro tie together. A lot of the things that you see is all micro and there is no macro tie. That's what everyone is missing, in my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments on that one. But we're about to go into something that is wild. I mean, wild. And I got a super chat I've got to get to real quick. Leonard Johnson with a $5 says, that's who that old boy reminds me of. I can't say that on YouTube. Oh, it's not that bad. That's too close. It reminds me of a Simpsons character. Another super chat. Cowboy Up Texas, $5. Dems aren't going to budge on opening the government, so we can't bring it to the floor for a vote until it's too late. Just feels like they will go lower. Trust me, I'm telling you, this is gonna be a thing. They cannot keep the government shut down for, what is it now, 8 months? They cannot do it. It is not possible. I'm telling you, you're watching a pivot happen. And this is the normal point where I'd have a break. But guess what? We don't need a break. We don't need no stinking breaks. We're about to save the country. Okay. Contrast. Remember, contrast. Guys, I'm 100% clickbait free. I'm very proud of that on this channel. I don't need to clickbait you. I can just show you what's happening. I hate clickbait with a passion. This is why I say the things that I say in the thumbnails. It's all about contrast. This is the pivot point. Okay? Watch this. This is Scott Jennings. This is Scott Jennings who's saying a very similar tune. Okay? Listen to this.
What the president did last night was draw. It was a night of contrasts. He drew the brightest lines you could draw between the two parties. And the trouble with subtlety is that not everyone gets it, and the president understands that. And when he goaded those Democrats to sit on their hands, and they couldn't even affirm that their highest
that
duty
wasn't subtle,
is to
Scott.
protecting the American people, when he got them to sit there and they wouldn't even stand up for that, he made the point. I'm for America, and I don't know what they are for, and that'll be the most unforgettable part of that speech. What the president did.
1000% agree. That will be the takeaway. There's 2 pieces I'm going to show you right now because we're about to start this process in train. The loyal lefties ain't going to like this at all, just to be fair. So just get ready to defend the chat. This is the point. It's all about contrast. The whole thing is contrast. Here we go. This was the single best political thing that I have seen probably in my lifetime. And let me explain why after. I'm going to do it afterwards. I'm going to break it up because there's like 3 minutes. It's important to watch the whole thing. This is Donald Trump last night in one of the best political honestly, bear traps I've ever seen. And they walked right into it. Okay? Watch this and keep in mind the elections are 8 months away. Watch, 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 watch.
So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right here, and we're going to do this a couple times because this is the most important thing, and this is the reason I'm doing this. Do you see that contrast? Right there. The people on the left are the Democrat Party. They zoom out even further, not a single one is moving. Donald Trump and the White House knew that the Democrats were going to play the game to play two games. One, some were going to boycott and they were going to go be whoa, which we're going to show you in a second. And then the other one was they're going to sit there like bumps on a log and not applaud for anything. Give him nothing. Show him nothing. That's what the order went out. And it's very clear that the order went out. They knew it, and they set a bear trap of the ages. Because the optics of this, of all the Republicans standing and clapping simply for, in America, do you think Americans should be put before immigrants or illegals? The illegal immigrants, not legal immigrants, illegal immigrants. Before citizens. They can't even agree. Y'all, what you're seeing right here is going to be on every single midterm ad across the board. Every single thing. You just got the Democrats by their own actions to either not show up and abdicate their duty or be absolutely idiotic in their resistance. You could not pay for this kind of political capital. Let's keep on going. Watch this and watch the clapping and watch the positioning and the framing when it focuses on these Democrats. And there goes the camera. By the way, I have a camera coming tomorrow. Okay, bear with me. Here we go. Again, look at all the body language. And seriously, the camera's coming tomorrow. It's supposed that won't be a problem anymore. So that's the contrast right there. You are looking at a wide angle shot of all the Democrats. They're just sitting on their butts with something as basic as, hey, maybe American citizens should be first in America. Weird. Over illegal immigrants. Weird. You literally cannot get out of that. And he puts even more sauce on the fire. Sauce on the fire? Log on the fire? He puts more gunpowder in the shot. How about that? All right, here we go.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is why I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Y'all, literally, they didn't stand up for a minute and a half on defending citizens against illegal immigrants, which is mind-boggling. Then they started heckling back at him, which, you know what? I'll be honest with you. MTG's done it. Lauren Boebert's done it. Like, I get it. I get it. But what I'm saying is, in this point, it's just like a gnashing of teeth. That's all it is. And he's saying you should be ashamed of yourselves and talking over them while they're literally just sitting there looking like dang fools. This is going to be on every single midterm ad. And by the way, blending everything together that we talked about, the Republicans have about 6 times as much capital in the bank for it. So you're going to see it, and you're going to see it at a rate of about 6x. This is flawless political showmanship. Flawless. Because they literally he set them up and they walked right into it. All right, so now this is the second piece. And then we're going to really have some fun because even the media is like, oh, shit. All right, here we go. Keep on hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Here we go. This is it in a nutshell. After all of it, watch. He just goes for the jugular.
Nobody stands up. These people are crazy. I'm telling you. They're crazy.
All right, 2 things I want to show you on this clip. These people are crazy. He is putting them in a box. He is literally saying, I just showed you by their own admission that they don't care about you. The people who are saying all about the American citizens and affordability and all this, they literally can't stand up in a State of the Union address of those that even showed up. Right, the optics of this are abysmally bad, and I'm not even to the contrast points yet. This is the whole point, and I want to show you something else here. Do you see these two right here? This caught my attention. You might not have anyone else talk about this because whatever. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't care. Maybe it's not important. You see those two in the middle right there? The two that are craning their heads that direction? See that? That caught my attention because they're both doing the exact same thing. They're both looking at the exact same direction along with the guy above. A few different people throughout this entire Democrat section are looking this direction. Okay? So I got my little curiosity peaked and I said, what's in that direction? And then I went, oh my God, look, it's Hakeem Jeffries. These guys are all looking at Hakeem Jeffries and going, you said sit down and stay still and don't say anything, but we're kind of getting railed right now. And then he just doesn't break his stare. Basically, the power leadership structure of the Democrats over there just got wrecked. They're looking, what are we doing? What are we doing, Chief? Put me in, Coach. Didn't work. All right. They called him crazy. He pigeonholed him. And now this is what I'm saying about. Nelda says at this rate of November is going to be a bunch of blue voting red. Yeah, at this rate. I mean, I'm just saying, guys. All right, super chats. Got to catch up to them. I do not want to skip these. Hold on a second. I saw one. There it is. Jay Stanton, $5. Senators are drawing paychecks, therefore government not shut down. They need to do their jobs. Democrats are lying thieves. I definitely think they need to do their jobs. And allegedly, they're lying thieves. All right, let's keep on going because this is dreamed up amazing political framing. This is reporter dream. This is Republican dream. This is conservative dream. This is me dream. This is a freaking manna from heaven moment. How do you not stand the jaw-dropping moments Democrats remain seated at the State of the Union? Y'all, the video that I'm doing right now is the same premise. How do you not stand? Like, it doesn't even make sense. You don't even have to agree with immigration stance. You literally just said that Americans should come after illegal immigrants. The people who are in the country illegally should come before United States citizens. You can't make this stuff up. All right, let's keep on going. Again, I'm telling you, this was the pivot point. Even CBS is admitting this might not have been a good idea. Here's the part where we start really picking up steam in this episode. So if you've enjoyed it so far, let me hear you in the comments, the chats, the emojis, the likes, the shares, the all subscribes, everything. This is important, guys. We're saving our country together. Telling you what lefties are going to do before they know they're going to do it. Watch this.
We have Major here at the table. I want to bring the conversation back here to our group watching along. Major, you've seen a lot of these, I think, more than any of us. What stood out to you?
Well, look, before the speech, many Republicans said one of the priorities for the president was to make sure Americans after this speech had a sense that the opposition party was off the rails, was crazy, their terminology, not mine. Many of the contrasts the president articulated tonight were to drive that message forward. That not only do I disagree with the opposition party sitting before me in Congress, but I disagree with them so strongly and they with me so much that they can't even applaud basic common sense thing. And that line that you mentioned, that he added to the speech, whether it was ad-libbed or not, the first obligation, American citizens versus illegal aliens, was meant to create a visual moment of perpetual contrast.
We have Major here at the table.
Did you hear that? Twice. In a 30-second segment, Major Garrett on CBS News said the word contrast. That is the word. There's no other word. It is contrast. Focusing on contrast. I'm telling you, this is really important. And again, setting this contrast and creating these optics was masterful, because that's what's going to carry forward through the election. There is not really going to be another opportunity for the Democrats to come in and try to do this, because now it is full-on midterm election season. They're not going to be voting on a lot of bills. They're going to do the SAVE Act, which is only going to make it further against Democrats to resist. The standing filibuster is on the table. The camera went off again. Just bear with me. And then this right here is the whole point. I'm going to go right to the next one because, whatever, my camera's having an aneurysm. Caroline Leavitt, J.D. Vance, Stephen Miller say Democrats showed disdain, searing disdain, by refusing to stand for Americans. Again, it is simple as the day is long. It's all about Democrats looking like this. A bunch of cross-armed woke scolds. A bunch of people who are only there to resist and be angry. It's not hard. It's not difficult to see. They are the eye roll. They are the woke scolding left. The Democrats. They are one and the same. It's over long-term politically for them, and they're only going to lose more and more power because they're losing more and more people. Again, tying everything I've shown you over the last several months. Electoral college votes, money, actual power, distribution of apportionment of seats, all of it. They are winning away their power, and they know it, which is why they are trapped in a corner, and they are losing their collective minds, which is why you're seeing them dance with frogs. Again, that's coming in a second. But this is the point. It is manna from heaven. If you want to frame something, it's incredible. And they do it to themselves. Here's Jonathan Karl on ABC saying the same thing. Watch this.
I would say overall, in terms of the speech, I mean, this had the makings of it had real high moments of patriotism, great stories he told. He gave out 2 congressional medals of honor. He gave out a Medal of Freedom. He gave out 2 Purple Hearts. He gave out a Legion of Merit. He had, great stories to tell when he recognized people like Buddy Tackert, who's going to turn 100 on the 4th of July. I would say overall, in terms of the speech, I mean, this had the makings.
So, patriotic. Remember, he was giving out medals and he was showering accolades on the United States Olympic team. He was talking about war heroes. Democrats can't stand up for Americans before illegal aliens. Literally, I'm like, you cannot make a better contrast. The entire thing's going to be contrast. Contrast, 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 contrast. Hey, knock, knock, who's there? Contrast. This is really important. All right, I got a couple super chats here. Hold on a second. I see we've got our loyal lefty. We got a constable up in here. 3,500 people. Thank you guys for being here. Mountain Goddess with a $10 super chat. The people operate like the mafia. Investigate people to find weaknesses, use it as leverage, paying the debts they owe in exchange for judges' orders and verdicts, politicians, etc. It's possible. Greg Hardy, $2, said we had no giraffes or inflatable frogs. No, we didn't. No, we just had the presidency and the Senate and the House. They had the inflatable frogs. All right, let's keep on trucking, people. Let's see if my camera will allow me. He's on his way out. He's throwing a temper tantrum. He knows. I told him he's out the door. All right, This is another thing. This one from CNN, all about how the Democrats opened a door and now they look a damn fool. Okay, watch this.
And Republicans on both sides, you're going to see an enthusiastic response from that chamber that had the Democrats been there, they could have actually delivered a separate message in this moment. And instead, they're leaving it to be much more of a rally for Republicans. I think that's an interesting visual that the Democrats gave away. Right. And
see how these words keep on coming up? I'm gonna tempt fate. Watch this. I'm gonna go big screen. You see how these big words keep showing up? The same ones: optics, visual, contrast. You see how this over and over and over again? This is happening over and over and over again. The reason it's happening over and over and over again is because this is what the Republicans just did to the Democrats. The people who constantly run to the media just got worked over a table. I mean, this is the ultimate contrast, so to speak, of Donald Trump is not only a criminal, evil genius mastermind, he's also an absolute idiotic buffoon. Like, both of those things, right? Like, you can't be in the same room at the same time. Yeah, well, if he's stupid, the Democrats, I don't know the word for that, but they worked him again, or he worked them again. Anyway, let's keep on going. Here's CNN. This is the same thing. David Axelrod. Does that name sound familiar? It should. That's the Barack Obama guy. Yeah, he's not a righty. Watch this.
Well, he also basically kept control of himself, which I think will be a great relief to his strategists and aides there. But the question, I mean, I think he did well from their perspective for the reasons that you say, John, and he used the gallery very skillfully to kind of simulate empathy, which is a thing that he's been lacking, and that's sort of a surrogate for that. The question is, he started off the speech by saying, this is the turnaround for the ages. Right. And as you know, because you're traveling around the country, people don't think the direction is right. And I don't think this cured that. So we'll see. But I don't think a lot of the people who needed to be persuaded probably were watching this speech.
This is the whole thing, and this is the part where they go off the rails a little bit. You have to throw in a but there if you're a Democrat. You have to, especially if you're one of the main talking heads of the Democrat Party in the Obama era. Like, David Axelrod is not a small fish in the Democratic machine, okay? You have to understand what is happening right now. They just sensed a shift. The shift is exactly what it is, all right? It was masterful use of the gallery. It was a masterful use of developing empathy. This is a masterful use of overall framing and optics and visuals. All of this is tying together to create Donald Trump as a human and as the Republicans doing something good, while the contrast, the Democrats being obstructionist, angry, woke scolds, crossing their arms. I don't want to play. I'm taking home my ball. Or going outside and dancing with frogs or dressing up as giraffes. Y'all, this is what you're seeing in real time. Now, the other thing that he said at the end there, I don't know if it convinced anybody who needed convincing. That's completely irrelevant. The whole point here, he just shored up his base. He just showed the Democrats for what they were, and the independents are going to go, okay, that was a thing, and the Democrats are going to look worse. Literally, they are looking worse. Anyway, got a super chat from Chad Storms, $5. Dems have shut down the government twice for issues that Americans are 52% didn't want Obamacare subsidies and 74% want DHS funded. Chad, the reason they have done that twice is because they are appealing to their far left base. That's it. The online media presence of the Democrat Party is pushing the moderate Democrats, as they call themselves, directly into the chainsaw chipper. That's what's happening. That's exactly what you're seeing. And I'm going to show you that in another video tomorrow, probably, with Jasmine Crockett and James Tallarico in Texas. That whole Democrats have never had higher voting in the primaries. Yeah, that's because something else. Save that for another time. Let's keep on trucking. I got one more thing here. This is Stephen A. Smith saying a very quiet part out loud. Again, we're only in the positive side of the contrast machine. We're about to have a hell of a lot of fun on the other side of this one. All right, Stephen A. Smith says something that everyone's thinking, and let me hear you in the comments and the chats and the emojis if you agree with this, because this is like, hello.
President of the United States is going to give his State of the Union address, and the Democrats got other plans. So some are talking about walking out in the middle of his speech. Others are talking about boycotting it altogether and essentially finding something else to do. I'm here to tell you that neither is acceptable. Neither should be acceptable. At some point in time, ladies and gentlemen, there's got to be an adult in the room.
At some point in time, there's got to be an adult in the room. Guess who he's talking about? Democrats. Contrast. Adult in the room. Visuals. Optics. Emotion. Empathy. Y'all, you just watch the pivot happen. It is happening in real time. Meanwhile, the Democrats and the leftists and the emotional woke scolds on X are talking to you about how the U.S. hockey team is evil and missed the moment because they didn't do some snub on Donald Trump when he called them to celebrate gold medal victory. I mean, these people are miserable. All they want to do is spread their misery. And if you don't, you're just as bad. I mean, it's literally just an eye roll. Anyway, we've now come to the break. Guys, the next 10 tabs. Oh, the next 10 tabs. That's why I got the jacket on. The next 10 tabs. All right, guys, listen. I'm going to need you guys to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. If you are not here, the mission of this channel is 100% clickbait free, saving the country together, cutting through the propaganda like Bugs Bunny and a That's All Folks cartoon back from like the 60s when, you could do fun stuff. This is important, guys, and we'd love to have you along with us. Over the last 6 months, we've had 140,000 people join the subscription. I would love to have you in here because we are full steam ahead to saving the country by winning, not doing all the stupid that you're seeing everywhere else. Thank you for being here. Let's get it. All right. Trucking it in. Jeremy Wills with a $10 super chat. I think the right is voting in the left primary to make sure Jasmine is a lock. Jeremy Wills with the underlying detective work. That may or may not show up in our video when we do it. Good assessment, though. Very good assessment. I'm just going to leave that there. All right. So here's the other point where we get to have a whole hell of a lot of fun. If you were part of the 3,600 people here right now, thank you so much for being here. This is the part where you want to send out to everybody because it's about to get real whoa. That's the best word I can describe. So again, with the contrast, I showed you everything that they just did. Donald Trump literally put them over a barrel and this left the room. He's like, we good, we win, good talk. This is their response after. This is a Democrat from Oregon. Not the one that was with the frogs. This is the different one, okay? Democrat from Oregon, and listen to what she falls back on when they got wrecked. Watch this. Maybe watch this? Hold on, let's see. No, maybe I don't get to watch this. It'd be really a shame if I couldn't watch this. Come on. Come on, X. I believe in you. Come on.
When the president was asking Democrats to stand up for American citizens during that part of the speech when he was talking about immigration and immigration enforcement efforts?
I think you can agree with the what, like standing up for American citizens, but I disagree with the how. And so it's always about how do we bring our country together, but not stand on the backs of others. There's thinly veiled racist language, anti-immigrant language in what he was asking, and that was uncomfortable.
Oh, it was uncomfortable because you guys just got politically wrecked from orbit. But what are the odds? Knock, knock. Who's there? How do you know a Democrat's losing? When they whip out the race card. Racial undertones literally said, stand if you agree that American citizens should go first before illegal immigrants. Yep, definitely racism. Definitely. Obviously. No doubt. Easy. Really? Which one? Which race? Just asking for a friend. Because you didn't specify. So usually when racism is accused, you would think that it would be of a specific race, or is it just all of them? I'm just, again, asking for a friend. But when they go down that road, you got them in a corner. Anyway, let's keep on trucking. Look, guys, it was wrong for Donald Trump to do this. The emotional betters, the look down the brim of your nose Democrats have decided that because they got politically worked, they're going to say, well, it was wrong, mister. And they're just going to say that it was so bad. And they're going to scold you. And they're going to be morally superior. And they're going to tell you how bad you are. Yeah, enjoy getting wrecked. Oh, come on. Man, I hate when this happens. Damn. Well, media can't play that one. Okay, here's the bottom line. He said they were wrong. I swear to God, eventually, it's like the Millennium Falcon over here. Everything breaks every 4 seconds. It's like, good Lord. All right. I really hope this Joy Reid one works because she sings. Joy Reid sings. I really hope to God this works because if it doesn't, I'm going to be so sad I put the jacket on for nothing. All right. Come on, Joy Reid. Give me your best notes. Come on, X. I believe in you.
No pueden encarcelarnos a todas. No pueden encarcelarnos a todas. No pueden encarcelarnos Minnesota told us. Imprison us all day. Hey. Imprison us all. Woo! Okay. I think I did okay.
You did amazing. Yes. You get an A. I don't give grades though. We just go on vibes, and the vibes.
Okay, well, glad you went on vibes. I'm not surprised you don't give grades. What? Again, contrast. This is what they were doing in one of the 5 other anti-State of the Union addresses, singing that crap. Like, what the hell was that? It was Democrat. That's what it was. Anyway, let's keep on going. Again, I'm just gonna grind it all the way in. Like, you know what? This is our freaking country. Sorry, we're gonna go ahead and save it together. We're just gonna go ahead and show you what's going on. If people have feels, they have feels. That's okay. All right, check it out. There's the frogs. Guys, if you didn't see the frogs, you need to see the frogs. This is one of the other Democrat representatives from Oregon standing on stage at one of the other anti-State of the Union addresses where they're saving democracy with the frogs. These are people that I mentioned in frogs. Here we go. If this does not show you contrast, I don't know what does.
I'm a mother. I am a physician, and I have a flag. And I am the proud representative for Oregon's 3rd Congressional District. Yes, thank you, thank you. And tonight, I defy Trump and his authoritarian project by standing in joyful, radical, peaceful resistance with the Portland Frog Brigade.
Y'all, oh my God, this is real. Okay, this was on multiple sources. This was streamed on defiance.org. This is real. This is not invented. That room of 37 people or 100 people was the one that was going to be more than Donald Trump's audience. Okay, that right there, that sweet baby Moses in a freaking basket on the Nile River floating down. Whoa. That is Democrats of what they had to better to do than the State of the Union. So on one side, you've got them saying that it was racist. The other side, or at the same time, also says it was wrong to put us in a barrel and bend us over it at the same time. And then the other half went over here and was like, yeah, we're going to stand up in peaceful, whatever, with frogs. It's okay, guys. It's okay. We're only halfway through this crap. All right. How about another guy? So this one's a guy dressed up as a giraffe, and I want to highlight some interesting things here because apparently it was a almost furry convention at this thing. The other thing about this that's so important for you to understand is the guy talking that I'm about to show you, dressed as said giraffe, is one of the paid agitators that goes from Portland, Oregon, all the way to Minneapolis to Minnesota, down to LA, and he gets arrested by ICE, and he's a paid agitator. That's what he does. And they actually brought him to a anti-State of the Union thing, furry convention, dress up, Comic-Con. I don't know what the hell this was, but they want to be taken seriously. Okay, watch.
I'm fresh out of an ICE prison in Minneapolis. I've been arrested 3 times by ICE over absurdity, over us being ourselves, over me singing songs like, hey, Mr. Tangerine Man, get rid of brown people for me. I'm Aryan white, there ain't no place I'm going to. And then all of a sudden, these not ready for primetime player ICE agents with 2 weeks of training come after me. I got arrested in Portland. I got arrested in Minneapolis in the last 3 weeks twice. But they can't erase a movement, all right?
Oh, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. They've got games and prizes after this speech. I'm not lying. Wait. Okay. This right here is a paid agitator who is clearly outside his mind, who just stood on the speaker, sang a random racist song, had a harmonica at some point, weirdly, alongside some Portland frogs, and And the whole thing is supported by Democrats who don't want to be taken as unserious because they don't want to be at the State of the Union address. Tell me where it makes sense. Also, tell me where you can have unlimited access to ad campaign material forever. These people are bonkers. No, don't worry. Don't worry. We got to watch. Bingo and prizes. Swear to God. Watch. No, damn it. X. He says we got bingo and prizes later. Yeah, get the idea. I swear to God. All right. Here we go. This is the whole point right here, guys. It's wild. And luckily, this one will work. But if it doesn't work, I can still work without playing it. Sources close to high-ranking Democrats have revealed that growing internal panic following the party's response to President Trump's State of the Union address, describing their counter-protest and boycott events as a disaster that left them appearing childish and disorganized. No. Stop it. What could you possibly mean about childish and disorganized? I felt completely compelled for democracy. It was going to be saved. That's what I thought was about to happen. Turns out it wasn't. Listen to it. Again, you want a preview? I swear to God, if this clip works, I'll be so happy. Okay, this is what you're going to see, if it works, on all the midterm ads. Please, God, work. Oh, damn it. Okay, you know what? We're just going to roll with it. Here's the point. I'm going to replay this. Hold on, refresh that. I want the image. I want the still image. Hold on. Come on, X. Stop being a... Okay, you know what? Whatever. You guys get it. All the things I just showed you. I'm not going to do the Joy Reid thing because X is clearly going to have a conniption either way, no matter what I do. I have way too many tabs open. All right. This is the point right here. Donald Trump.
Nobody stands up. These
people are crazy. Get the idea. X is just gonna screw me. Oh, thank God we got through the rest of this. Okay. So here's the point, guys. These people are crazy. They're going to get pegged as crazy. They're going to be seen as crazy. They're going to get these clips knocked again and again and again against them. This is another example of crazy. This is Al Green from Texas doing that inside. See that right there? He said, quote, "Black people aren't apes." Oh, good. Good job, Democrat Al Green from Texas, who's about to be out of his seat because of redistricting. Great job, everybody. He was then kicked out, but don't worry, the Democrats are the party of common sense. Guys, if you're not seeing the contrast, there he is getting kicked out, but I'm not going to play the clip because, obviously, whatever. And I don't need to play Gavster either. I don't think I need, I don't need to play Gavster. It's not important. All right, here's the bottom line. Thank God I got through most of that before X decided to have a conniption. The entire point here is that Donald Trump just set up the entire expectation of they're crazy. Here's the contrast. I love America. They don't love America. They can't stand up for something as basic and common sense as that. The media comes out and says they missed a tremendous opportunity from the Democrats, and now they're couched as crazy, while the Democrat power structure is saying, we look childish and disorganized. Do you? You think? All the while, the Republicans have an advantage of financing of about 7x, like $700 million to about $100 million. You have Elon Musk on the Republican side. You have all sorts of funding that's going into the Republican coffers. And the midterm election spin hasn't even started yet. And they just gave them everything under the sun. And the fight over the next several weeks and months is going to be around the SAVE Act, which is 85% popular. And the Democrats are going to have to get up there and say why they can't love anything, like why they can't do anything. Y'all, this is about to turn on a crazy dime. All right, I got a couple super chats I want to get to because I saw a few come through. And, when my camera comes in tomorrow, maybe everything will be good again. Grunt with the $5. Macho Man Randy Savage is turning over into the grave. Yeah. Tammy K with $10 super chat says, one of the Old Testament plagues was frogs. Yeah, well, it's back. So, nice little tie-in with the Moses thing. I didn't even mean to do that. Good job. And finally, with Thomas Kalawak with a $10 super chat just to support the stream. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. I apologize for the X issues, the camera issues, but as you know, we are a one-man show. I'm doing behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. I'm being the content guy. I'm being the face for radio. It's a thing. It's a situation, but we're going to get through it together, and we're going to save the country together too, damn it. I'm going to go Prepare the videos for tomorrow. I love each and every one of you. Just throw them out that makes you feel comfortable. Let me know what you think of this video in the live stream down below. Of course, minus all the stupid snafus. The content, really. And I'll see you guys on the next one.